Good morning, Terry. Welcome to Money Monday. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Good morning to you too.
I know you're feeling good. Your 49ers won yesterday, so I know
Yeah,
that Terry's got a smile on his face.
that's right. They came from behind and won.
hmm
So,
Yeah, good weekend for you in that respect. Otherwise, how was your horse racing weekend?
oh, it's good. It was all right. I played a couple of contests and did okay, head to heads. And other than that, it was fine. So,
Yeah, I've been a little bit cold at the track lately, so whatever I say today, fade, I guess. Hopefully the gambler's fallacy comes to fruition today, and I'm due to have a big day. So hopefully that's this day, Terry.
yeah, well, on Saturday, I did okay on the races we did there. And I wished I could have got a pick four, but got a couple of big, pretty nice trifectas. You had a nice one over $100. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of off a little bit lately. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully today we correct the offness and we can turn it on, so to speak. So today we're going to do Parx like we do every Monday. Terry, you got a little bit of an echo, my friend. Can you do me I hate to always have to mute you, but I don't know what it is with you. Only you mute. I mean, only you echo. I don't know what's going on there, but we're going to do Parx today. The weather in Van Salem, Pennsylvania is supposed to be like 45 degrees and sunny, so the track is fast. Should be some good racing today. Not a whole lot of scratches. We'll get started. The party with, of course, as always, race number one at Parx. Race number one is a 6 furlong race. It's claiming $5,000, non-winners of 2 in the year. The purse is for 18 grand. If we look at the sort of horses that win at that distance and surface, we find that early speed wins. There is a small rail penalty. Otherwise, all the other post positions play pretty fair, Terry. And we'll take a look at our way to the winner's worksheet, way to the winner's circle worksheet to get started on this Monday morning with race number one. Real quick recap. E stands for early speed. Those are the horses that need to be the pilot, need to be on the lead to win. EPs can be co-pilots or pilots. The pressure horses are never pilots, but can be co-pilots when they win. Pressure and closer types, the PC types, they're the ones that sit in the assistant's chair as well, or they ride coach. And then closers, of course, they're always in coach. So they come from the back to the front to win. As we mentioned, early speed is the way to go here. And this 4-horse, Terry, has a ton of early speed, almost a 10-point lead over everybody else, according to my pace figures, and at 2 furlongs, and almost 15 points better than anybody else. I mean, this horse should get to the front, should run wire to wire, in my opinion, Terry. But what's yours? Remember, you're on mute.
okay. I have the same opinion as you. I like that number 4, Nothing's Free. She comes in from Monmouth Park to try Parx racing for the first time, drops in class, and has a good 4 furlong workout on November 3rd. And then number 6, Anginetti. She likes Parx racing, finishing in the money in 46% of her starts, and the distance won't be a problem for her. Then my third pick, number 1, Penance. She won her last race and has won 11 races out of 32 starts at Parx racing, so she likes the track. And then number 3, Stormbeam is my fourth pick. She drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters.
Well, I think we're both probably going to kick this card off right. This 4-horse is a track dropper, as we mentioned, has a really strong early pace advantage over everybody else. The only question was, would the horse like the Parx track? The workout says yes. There's no reason this horse shouldn't go wire to wire today. And you never know, bad start, something along those lines. Number 6, Anginetti, is a lone pressure horse between the speed and the closers, and has the best combination of early and mid and late pace in the race, tied with the 4-horse in that respect. Number 1, the Penance. This racehorse won her last race with better internal numbers from the beginning to the end of the race. And then finally, number 2, Can I Cool Z Pattern in the first race off of the bench for this horse. I'm looking for her to race back just a couple of races where the horse went wire to wire. So we can repeat that effort, maybe competes with the 4 up front. I don't know. I think the 4's probably got that one pretty easily, Terry. Probably go off 1 to 2 as well. Race number 2 at Parx is 1 mile, 70 yards, claiming $5,000, non-winners of 2 in a year. The purse money here is $18,000. Again, quickly, a profile of a winner at 1 mile and 70 yards on the Parx dirt course. We find that early speed, particularly post 1, 2, and 3, and 8 and out, seem to have the advantage. So a little bit of a barbell approach there. In race number 2, we see the race shape here is kind of interesting. You got a lot of early speed up in here between the P's, the PC's. Got a lone closer sitting back here. The 5 horse also has the top late pace. That's what that L1 means. So if these guys up here decide they're going to run a drag race instead of a thoroughbred race, 5 horse could have a good advantage. Of those speeder horses, the number 1 has a plus advantage again, 5 points more than anybody else at the half-mile marker. Should be the one they all have to pass at the end, Terry. Who is going to pass them at the end?
Well, I think I like the number 1, Little Miss Hot Shot. She ran second versus similar in her last race, and the rail post is winning at a 20% clip. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then number 6, my second choice, Speedster Gold, comes in from Penn National after winning by 6 lengths to Parx Racing, where she has performed well in the past. And then my third pick is number 8, Time to Two-Step. She won her last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then my fourth pick is number 5, Hello Rosie Say. She drops in class today and switches to a high percentage winning jockey.
This one's my box it up. Get started early. That's where we put 4 horses together in an exacta box, trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. And it's the way we're scoring all of our races in the contest between Team Terry and Charles versus Team Rich. Right now, they got about $1,000 lead on me. You only have today and tomorrow to vote for your team. So head over to, you see down there below on the scroll bar, our social sites at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Make your vote. Again, right now, Team Charles, Team Terry, about $1,000 up. If you're picked the right team, we'll take all those names out of a hat, one name out of that hat, and we're going to send you some great horse racing today gear, a hoodie for this winter weather. I like number 6 here, Terry, as my top choice, Speedster Gold. This horse is the lone co-pilot / pilot type. I think it's going to probably run the most complete race from beginning to end. Number 1, a Little Miss Hot Shot, does have that early speed advantage we talked about at the half-mile marker. And this horse tends to get very bold when she has the lead at the half. So keep an eye on that. She doesn't have the lead, tends to fade. Number 7, Canucci did run the top last race speed figure and drops in class. Like that combination, like it even more when the horse gets a weight break like it is today. Finally, number 5, Hello Rosie Say. This thoroughbred, as we mentioned in the Way to the Winners worksheet, is the lone closer in this field. Everybody else wants to pressure or be on the lead. If they go too fast and have a race melt up, Hello Rosie Say will have her say at the end. Race 3, the next race on the card, 6.5 furlongs, as Parx breaks out all the different versatile lengths they can run. This one is a optional claiming for $25,000. The purse here is $28,000. The type of horse that wins at 6.5 furlongs on the main track at Parx is usually one that has tactical speed, gets a big rail bonus at this particular case at 6.5 furlongs, which is weird because at 6 furlongs, the rail stinks. And at 6.5 furlongs, the rail is good. Everything else, 2 and out, play fair. This is a race number 3 where we see almost the opposite of what we saw in last race. You got a lot of horses that want to play co-pilot, very few that want to be pilot. You got one over here that wants to be the leader. It's going to be the leader, has the plus advantage at 2 and 4 furlongs, the quarter-mile marker, half-mile marker, should be on the lead. This 4 horse back here, though, of all these closer pressure types, has a huge late pace advantage over everybody else. And I introduced the asterisks in here today because these horses all have 1 win, all maiden wins, and the 3 and the 1, they won theirs at the highest levels, meaning they could have the most class in this group. Terry, who do you think has the most class? And give me your 4 numbers so to box it up. I'll run them through real quick.
Okay, they're 4, 7, 3, and 6.
And tell us about your box it up.
All right, I like the 4 as my first pick, Edward Madden. He was well bet and won his debut race at Delaware Park, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 7 is my second pick, Freddie Ness. He won his last race at Delaware Park. He is trained by Jamie Ness and ridden by Ruben Silvera, which is a really good combination. And then number 3 is my third pick, Don't Blame Freddie. He won his last race at Parx Racing and has a trainer whose mounts win 23% of their 2-year-old races. And then I like number 6, Southern Lad. He won his last race at Laurel Park and has a decent 5 furlong workout on November 7th.
Yep. Again, Terry's box it up. $1 exact box, 50-cent try, 10-cent superfecta. It's the race where we think you can get the best odds and maybe get the nicest payout. For me, I like in race number 4, the first horse, and here's my long shot of the day. That is number 4, Edward Madden. That's also your first pick there, Terry. As I showed you on the Way to the Winners worksheet, this horse has an incredible early pace, late pace combination over the rest of the field. Did run the top last race speed figure in its debut. That's according to Barry Meadows in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper, what I call an alpha angle. It wins at more than 15% or more. Number 7, Freddiness, second choice in here, should be the pace setter and does have that early advantage through the first half mile of the race. Let's see if he can capitalize. Number 3, as we start exactly the same for the first 3, Don't Blame Freddie, scored the maiden win at the highest level, which, as we mentioned, could be some indication of class compared to the rest of the field. And then finally, number 1, Should Have Been Gone. This one's coming in from Monmouth Park. I feel like Monmouth to Parx is a small track drop. Terry, what do you think? You're on mute.
Yes, I think so too. Yeah, I think it is.
And then, of course, this one does ride that high win rate rail. It's first off the claim as well, without a whole lot of changes. So when we talk to some trainers, so look out for a lot of changes on first off the claim, because that's when you know they're kind of fishing. Race number 4, this one is 1 mile. And a 16th, claiming $7,500 for a purse of 22 grand. Profile of a winner at the distance. We see that Tactical Speed does do fairly well. Post 1 through 7, they play fair, but if you do catch an 8 or an out, you do get a bonus, which is a positive, so that does help them score. Race number 4, we are introduced to our first left arrow horse. This is a closer whose early pace figures, just normal, not trying any harder than usual, should put this close to the lead. The 7 horse will be the one up there, most likely fighting it out with the 3 horse for the lead. And as they come down the stretch, this 8 horse has a lot of late pace. So this race is pretty evenly balanced. Probably going to go to the best horse, Terry. Who is your best horse in race number 4?
Well, I like that one that's going to come down the stretch. Number 8, Mine Not Mine. It's my first pick. He finished in the money in his last 3 races. He's trained by Jamie Ness and ridden by Ruben Silveira. And then I like number 5 as my second choice, Sultan the Rim. He ran second versus similar in his last race and has the highest last race speed rating. He's tied with another horse. And then number 2 is my third pick, Victory Is Ours. He finished third versus similar in his last race. His early speed running style helps his chances. This jockey in the last 7 days have finished in the money 4 out of 10 starts with 3 wins. And then number 4 is my fourth pick, Jerusalem's Gates. He has finished in the money in 3 out of 4 races at Parx Racing and has the best start speed among today's starters.
So race 4 for me is my best bet in here. Mine Not Mine, a horse that you like as well. Did tie for the top last race speed figure. Does have the best combination of pace numbers internally from beginning to end. And then as far as that late pace is concerned, should carry this horse very much by everybody at the end. Number 2, Victory Is Ours, is my second choice here. Should be close to the front, all the way around the track, and does have the better 2 and 4 furlong numbers than anybody else in here. Number 3, Instant Chaos, is my left arrow horse. Does get a weight break and is looking to improve for the 3rd race in a row. Finally, number 5, Salt in the Rim. This, I guess, is your margarita reference, right? Is the other to tie for the top last race speed figure and was a lot better in the first half of its last race. Let's see if it can carry it through the second half of its race today. Race 5 is 1 mile, claiming 12,500, purse of 24 grand. I think this is the 5th race, Terry. I think it's the fifth different distance. At 1 mile, early speed does work out to be the preferred way to the winner's circle with a little bit of an inside to outside bias. So a little bit closer to the rail, a little bit the better. We did get a significant scratch, I felt like, in this race, Terry, with the 3 horse. Was going to be the lone speed with a pretty good combination of speed and closing ability. The 4-horse here has never been close. That wraps it down to about a 5-horse field to me, Terry. And then, because you can eliminate the 4, in my opinion. And the 7-horse is the horse in this race that appears to have an in-race advantage over the rest, and that is a double plus late pace edge over everybody else, Terry. In this shorter field, who do you think wins?
All right. Well, I'm going to start out with the number 7, as you said, Scoop Dog. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 2, and excuse my pronunciation, but
yeah, just a 2-horse.
Super 2.
Por supuesto.
Yes. Well, she finished third versus similar in her last race, and she may improve at the shorter distance using that early speed style that she has. And then number 5 is my third pick, Clear Cut. She had trouble in her last race, so I'll just ignore that race. Comes in to this race dropping in class and returning to a route, which I think is a plus. And then number 1, Bob and Our Mist is my 4th pick. She finished second in her last race.
Scoop Dog, my first choice too, Terry. Does have that pace advantage over everybody else. Should be fit, firm, and ready to roll with 3 decent workouts between races. You don't see a whole lot of that at Parx. Horses that get a lot of maintenance works between the races. So it's, I think, could be a big plus for Clear Cut. Por supuesto should be involved from the jump. I know that last race was kind of, I know you say kind of toss it out a little bit, but was a touch improved early on in that spot. And then finally, number 1, Bob in Our Midst, just flipping from turf to dirt, has some early pace, just looks a little bit better than me. Then Where's the Passion as the only other horse in that race. I do think it'll be decided between the first 3, maybe the first 2. Race 6 is a 5.5 furlong maiden claiming $25,000. At 5.5 furlongs, as you can imagine, Terry, speed is the way to the winner's circle. There is, despite it being a short race, an outside to inside bias. So make a look on the outside. There is not a way to the winner's circle here because there are so many first-time starters in this race, Terry. So with all these youngsters, all these babies, what's going to happen?
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. First of all, let me tell you that I was referring to the horses in the 5th race as girls. They're not. They're boys. Anyway, in the 6th race, I like the number 1 horse, Vegas Wildcat. She's a first-time starter who was trained by Jamie Ness and ridden by Ruben Silveira, and her breeding suits today's distance. Number 7, Funny Honey, is
she funny?
Yeah, she's funny. Well, she's a first-time starter too. Her sire wins 18% of the time with first-time starters. Her breeding suits today's sprint distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 4, Luna T. She finished third on an all-weather track in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 6 is my 4th pick, Passionate Dream. She drops in class today, switches to a high percentage winning train jockey, and can improve while on the dirt.
Race number 6 will conclude our hot dog pick fours, which will be shown in just a minute. So stick around for that. Number 7 is my first pick, Funny Honey. You have Kendrick Caramouche and trainer Linda Rice coming down from the NYRA circuit. Together, this duo's won 5 out of 8 and in the money 7 out of 8. And despite probably being big names down there at Parx, that combination has a $3.15 positive ROI. So big money, big winners. Why not put it on the top? Number 1 is my second choice in here, Vegas Wildcat. Again, referencing Barry Meadows in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper, when he ran through countless data. This horse's last workout before heading off to this thoroughbred race was a bullet. I call that a bullet and go. Bullet and go is an alpha angle. And what's interesting to me about this one, too, is that trainer Jamie Ness puts Paco Lopez on this horse instead of the 6-horse Passionate Dream, where he had, let's see, I think maybe that other horse got scratched, right? Yes, it did. The 6-horse Passionate Dream is a NYRA dropper coming in from New York. Been bad, but the drop and decent work suggests that it fits here. And then finally, number 4, the Luna dropper. Luna T is a maiden special weight to maiden claiming dropper, also flipping from all weather to dirt. So there's a lot of changes going on here. I get the feeling like they're searching Before we get off to the pick four, Terry, we mentioned Kendrick Caramouche. He will be a guest this week on Tuesday, tomorrow night, with Sean and I. But tonight, in what is otherwise a Turf Paradise week, we have on Turf Paradise track announcer Craig Braddock. Tomorrow will be Kendrick Caramouche. Wednesday, the always fun to have around, CC Perkinson. You're going to want to make sure you tune in for those. And to make sure you don't miss them, Terry, what ought people do?
They ought to subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell to be notified. Follow us on Twitter at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And on Facebook, the same. Give us a thumbs up on Horse Day, number 2 day. And Instagram at Horse Race, number 2 day.
Indeed, all of our social sites are the same, except for Horse Racing Radar TV here on YouTube. As Terry said, please hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell, and most importantly, some thumbs up. They help us out a little bit with the algorithms. All right, Terry, we promised that we would get to our hot dog pick fours, and here we go. We're going to do races number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Terry is going to depend on that 8 horse in race number 4. I went at first I went with 4 horses in that first leg, and then I went the Noah the rest of the way, 2x2x2. You really like that 8, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think the 8's going to do just fine in that race, especially with all the other stuff that's going on there. So.
And you got all those babies in race number 6. I just feel like the 7 and the 1 are the best 2 of the babies, and we'll find out how that plays out when race number 6 is over. But when race number 6 is over, Terry, race number 7 will be 20 minutes away. If we look at race 7, this one is 1 mile and 70 yards. I think we're through 7 races and haven't seen the same distance yet. At 1 mile and 70 yards, optional claiming $25,000 for a purse of $28,000. Again, I think it's important to understand what the winning horse typically looks like. So painting a profile of a winner. 1 mile and 70 yards, there is an early inside speed bias. Also allows for us to go back to our way to the winner's circle worksheet. There is a significant scratch here with the 4 horse. I thought this one had a pace advantage. The 8 horse is out as well. With the 4 horse scratching, the 5 horse now probably becomes your likely leader with a lot less pressure. But this pressure horse back here, the 2, does have a little bit of a late run advantage. Might be able to chase down that 5 and others when the race is over. Terry, when it's over, tell us who your long shot is and why it's going to win.
Okay, I like number 7, Thrills and Chills, as my long shot. He has won 2 races in a row, and now he's going for a hat trick. And his trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days has been in the money 4 out of 5 starts with 3 wins. And then I like number 2, Gold Culture, as my second pick. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. He has the highest last race speed rating. He's tied with another and has a trainer who wins 24% of the races when he brings a beaten favorite back to race again. And then number 3 is my 3rd pick, Margin of Error. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey, and he has the highest last speed rating. He's actually tied with number 2. And then number 5, Savian Change. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing, and the trainer in the last 14 days been in the money 7 out of 10 starts with 4 wins, 2 seconds, and a 3rd.
This 2 horse here, Good Culture, has by far the best and most consistent race numbers in this field with a plus late pace advantage. Either all the other ones got to come up or this one's got to come down for it probably not to win. Probably going to be a big favorite. Number 7, Thrills and Chills, 1-2 in a row after struggling to get that maiden win. Paco Lopez rides this one, and he's teamed up today with trainer Guadalupe Guerrero. Together, that duo has won 4 out of 11 races for a positive ROI of just 41 cents. But hell, still, money is money, especially when you're turning a profit. Number 3, Margin of Error. This one has always put up a consistent effort. Did tie for the top last race speed figure. Usually has a lot of early pace as well. And last time out, showed some improved late pace. So connect the front to the back, and Margin of Error might be the one that finds its way into the winner's circle. And then my 4th choice in this horse race, number 1, Formal Order. This one has some of the best combination of early speed and late speed in the field. Race 8, Terry, is going to be your best bet in a 6 furlong race. I think it's the first time we've seen the same distance twice. Claiming of $25,000, non-winners of 3 lifetime for a purse of $28,000. Again, just a quick review. 6 furlongs, usually early speed wins. You probably want the horse that's not on the rail. It's a little bit of a discount there. This race is pretty evenly weighted. You have some horses that want, well, probably a little bit more front loaded. So a lot of these horses up in here want to have the lead, or pressure the lead. Back in here, you got a couple closers with the 1 and the 7. When the gates open, it sure looks like the 6 horse and a left arrow horse over here, my 5, a pressure horse, going to compete for the lead. So if their history says anything, 6 is on the lead, 5 is on the tail. And then as they come around the turn, the 5 has the most late pace. Hopefully can run by them at the end or be at least a part of it if you have it in your picks, Terry. This one is your best bet, so tell us who it is.
I like the number 4, Pilota. He ran second versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning trainer. Then number 5 is my second pick, Smoky White. He has finished in the money in 3 out of 4 races at Parx Racing, drops in class today, and has a jockey who in the last 7 days has been in the money in 4 out of 8 races and won 2 of those. Then I like number 6 as my third pick, Center Mid Maddie. He drops in class today, switches to high percentage winning trainer, switches to high percentage winning jockey. And then number 3, BB Bad. He has finished in the money in 4 out of 6 races at Parx Racing, and he's winning one of those races and switches to a high percentage winning trainer. And there goes the first race at Parx.
First race at Parx. All right, let's talk about the first race at Parx. While we talk about the first race at Parx, everybody go over to the Picks with the Professor. There's a link down below. And then he's great at college basketball, college football, college basketballs every day. Hit that link down below. Follow him on the show. Hit him in the comment section. Let him know what you think. Let us know what you think in terms of what picks you like at Parx or any track today. As we thought early on, Terry, we said that 4 horse was likely the one that was going to go wire to wire, and it went wire to wire. I'm surprised, honestly, when 4, 1, and 2, 6, I think. I'm kind of surprised that the horse actually went off at only 1-1. What about you? You're on mute.
Yeah, I am. I'm very surprised. I thought it would be more like 2-5, 3-5. So
yeah.
So
kind of surprised too.
Good bet because you make 100% on your money in just a minute and a half. So
can't beat that, right?
No, you can't. And
so I went 4, 1, 2. Looks like I have the trifecta. Terry, you have the exacta. I think the 2 sneaked up there at 38-1. I don't know. I'm never sure.
Oh, that'd be nice for you, right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've been kind of cold, so I hope that's not the only thing that hits for me today. I hope I go through the card. Yeah. All right. So for race number 8, another race I'm hoping to hit. I like number 4 as well, Pelota. You're going to hear a lot about Pelota's ball in Spanish come Sunday when the World Cup starts. But today you'll hear a lot about Pelota because it does have the top last race speed figure, dropping in class in the 3rd start off the bench. The only time this horse found its way to Parx before, Terry, did you note how many lengths it won by?
I think 11.
9.5. So
yeah, I knew it was quite a bit.
Big number indeed. Smoky White's also my second choice for race number 8 at Parx. This is a left arrow horse, as I mentioned, in the way to the winner's circle. Rough race last time out in the first race following a short break. So whenever you see something like that, I like to look back down through the past performances, see what happened the last time the horse came off the bench. Last time Smoky White came off the bench, struggled, and then followed it up in race number 2 with a big win. So let's see if we can repeat that cycle today. Number 6, Center Mid Maddie, a little bit more soccer reference there. Center Mid Maddie should be the pace setter in the first off the claim for trainer Jamie Ness, who wins at 33% first off the claim. It's hard to believe that he has an alpha angle when he's a 30% trainer, but first off the claim is an alpha angle for trainer Jamie Ness. And then finally, number 3, BB Bad, as you and I have the same 4 horses in the same 4 order. Was a tough call over to 8 and a couple more in this race, but this one's consistently more in the money at Parx and at the distance. Race number 9, as we move through the card, Terry. This one is 6.5 furlongs, optional claiming $16,000, purse of $57,000. As we mentioned a little bit early, 6.5 furlongs, unlike 6 furlongs, does still favor speed, tactical speed, but this time you get a pretty big rail bonus, Terry. In race number 9, our way to the winner's circle, we see there aren't any scratch. Well, the 2-horse, the lone closer in this bit, got scratched out. Got a left arrow horse in here, the 5, who is a pressure closer type. Early pace. Go ahead.
You need to put your thing up on the screen.
Oh, I don't have it up there. All right.
No.
Thank you for letting me know that, Terry. So I have different pages open. There you go. So left, the 5 horse is a a left arrow type. It and the 1 should compete for the early pace to see who's going to lead this race. The 1 horse again on that high percent winnage rail. Terry, is that where you're starting?
Now, let me see here. Yeah, I'm starting with, the number 1, a rail horse, the judge and the jury. He has finished in the money and in his last 6 starts, winning 4 of those starts, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 5, Float On, is my second pick. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has the highest last race speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 7, Parx, he has won 2 out of 3 races and is 1 for 1 at today's distance. Number 6 is my 4th pick, Jump Shot. He won his last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer.
All right, Motion, you want to know what the results for race number 1 at Parx were? At Parx, the 4 horse won that first race, followed by the 1 horse, followed by the 2 horse. So it went 4-1-2. The $2 exacta paid $18.60. The 50-cent trifecta, 4, 1, and 2, paid $29.10. The 10-cent superfecta, which I had, but doesn't count in our contest, 4126 paid $13.27 for a dime. So I hope that helps you out there, Motion. Finally, for me in race number 9, I thought I had given my picks already, Terry, but I did not. Race number 9, the judge and the jury. This 1 horse does ride that rail. Better fractions by about a second last time out at 6.5 furlongs. So clearly an indication that this horse is in peak form. Number 7 is my second choice, Parx, winner of 2 of 3 at Parx Racing with 4 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. Another one of those Barry Meadows alpha angles. And what I like about this horse today, this racehorse, Parx Day, carrying 10 less pounds today than it did in its last horse race. Number 5, Float On, is my left arrow horse in here. The best combination of early speed and late speed, and was much better internally. So when you look at its in-race numbers, we're much improved compared to the prior start. And finally, number 6, we have the same 4 horses again. This one's Jump Shot. Well, it's the lone pressure horse in this field. Was a tough call over to 3, but the 3 horse does its best work on an off track. And today, as we see already, the track is fast. You got that 4 horse going wire to wire. But as the favorite, that doesn't mean anything to me because that's it's supposed to win. Finally, race number 10. Terry's, I forgot to switch that thing over there in that last race. Forgive me. Yeah, Motion, I did tell you who just won that race. It went 4, 1, 2, 6 in race number 1 at Parx, which is Philadelphia. Maybe they title it differently where you are. Race number 10, 5.5 furlongs. Again, this one is a $7,500 claiming race for a purse of 22. 5.5 furlongs favors outside speed. Terry, the last time we're going to take a look, and hopefully I've got it open. The way to the winner's circle, 8-horse scratch, which was a significant scratch for me because I had it in my picks. The 13 was also eligible, did not get in. A lot of early speed here, Terry, with all of these horses up here looking to catch the lead. Of those horses, the 6 has the most early pace. But just looking at this structurally, this race to me looks like it should set up very nicely for this 12 horse and this 9 horse as they sit behind this wall of speed and then try to run through it at the end. At the end, who will run through it?
Well, I agree with you. That 12 horse looks really good to me. Peterson's Courage.
Is that your first pick?
Yes, that's my first pick. He drops off a claim and can improve at the shorter distance, has the best dirt speed among today's starters, and the trainer jockey combination the last 14 days. It's won 2 out of 2 starts. And then I like number 6 as my second pick, Refund Wriggler. He has finished in the money in 4 of the last 5 starts, winning 2 of those starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 7, Pellegrini. He finished second in his last race, has the highest last race speed rating, and should improve at this shorter distance. Then my 4th and final pick is number 5, 2 Color Map. He won a race at Parx Racing and switches to a high percentage winning trainer.
All right, the last four for me. Refund Wriggler gets the top pick in the last race. This is that Jamie Ness Ruben Silvera combination again, climbing up the speed ladder number, and does have a maintenance workout between races. Again, that's kind of unusual at Parx, especially for a Ness horse. You don't see a lot of in-race in between on the past performances. Number 9, Mizzen Man, is the lone closer in the field, filled with speed and pressure types. Maybe not going to win, but if they go too fast, could run by them all at the end. Number 12, which is your first choice, Peterson's Courage, is the lone EP horse in this field. And when you mark out those races like I do on the way to the winner's circle, when you see lone EPs and you see lone PCs, those are horses you've got to put in there, especially if they have the top late pace number like the 12 horse does, and the best combination of early and late speed. Finally, number 7 is my final choice in here. That is Pellegrini. Did run the best last race speed figure, Terry, with much improved race internals, so should be a factor in this spot as well. This also ends the card, but also is the end of the late pick 4, which is our prime rib pick 4, Terry. You're putting $96 to work. I'm putting $90 to work. Your weak spot is the 4 and the 5. If you get through that, you look like you should be about home free at the end.
Yeah, that looks good to me. I thought that the 10th race was pretty wide open, so that's why I did it the way I did it.
Indeed. So I have it a little bit differently, but we'll see how it all plays out at the end. There's a lot of different ways for Terry and I to end up in the same place. Let's see if that can happen when we can both come home winners today on the hot dog and prime rib pick 4s. Did come home winners with the exacta, trifecta, and superfecta in race number 1. My box it up is coming up in race number 2. Terry's is in race number 3. So you're going to want to make note. These are the races we both feel like have the best chance to have some nice prices is hit in a $1 exacta box, 50-cent try, 10-cent superfecta box. Looking at our best bets, mine's in race number 4 with the 8. Terry's best bet, race number 8 with the 4. A little bit of inverse action there. And then my long shot's coming up in race number 3 with the 4. So I got a long shot best bet double coming there in race number 3 and 4. Terry's long shot, race number 7. Hot dog pick 4s kick off in race number 3. Small budgets, hopefully big payouts. Terry's going to live and die on that 8 horse. I'm going to go 4x2x2x2. And that wraps up all of our picks for today, Terry. If you're going to make picks today a little bit later on at Turf Paradise, again, if you join us tonight at 8 p.m., Craig Braddock will be our host. He is our guest tonight, Horse Center with Sean and I. He's the track announcer, been on the show a couple of times, great guy. And then Wednesday, CC Perkinson will also be there from Turf Paradise. So Turf Paradise-centric week. So why not start off with free picks at Turf Paradise? There's a link below at horseracingtoday.net in the description. Click on that, and you'll see in race number 1, Glen Roy, 6-1. Top choice, Terry. That's a pretty good price right there.
Absolutely. It's great.
Indeed, for sure. All right, man. That wraps up all of our picks from Money Monday. We started off in the money, Terry, which is a good sign, I hope. Any final thoughts before we get up and get out of here?
Well, I just hope everybody's having a good weekend and that they're going to have a really good week. Give your loved ones a kiss and a hug and tell them how you feel about them, especially if it's positive. Take each day as the last day of your life could be. So live it to your fullest.
Well, let's hope not. So, yes, tomorrow, Terry and I'll be back to cover Horseshoe Indianapolis. On Wednesday, Charles returns. He and I will tackle Churchill Downs on Wednesday. And on Thursday, we will do Aqueduct. And then Friday, we'll have Foreign Fridays with Tom. No idea. I find out about Wednesday or Thursday what Tom's thinking. Saturday, we'll be back again for our Saturday show in the morning. We'll keep it at the normal time. Terry and I tried to go early, but the scratches just made it miserable and harder for both of us to actually get the same amount of work done that we normally do before we get started. One final thing, I was listening to somebody talk yesterday, and they were saying how if one random act if you're just kind to people, you never know like what kind of person, what kind of day the person that you're interacting with is having. Sometimes if you're kind to somebody who's having a rough day, you can turn their whole day around and have a change on them you don't even realize that you're having. So whatever you do today, Terry, be kind to the people around you. And at the same time, no matter what you're doing, whether it's at Turf Paradise, you're at work, you're worried about the first race at Parx, no matter what, Terry, we hope your day, your week, and all of my picks end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Money Monday, everybody. See you tomorrow.